we are going through times in our global history where each one of us is being asked to individuate to know ourselves. And if we don't at the same time learn how to respect and integrate another person's individuality, we could be fragmented as a society. And it starts with your closest family and friends, where you give them permission to be who they are, and you stay the course of their wild and crazy journey without ever stopping to love them, without ever saying, I'm done with you. That integration starts with ourselves. When I'm able to see I'm an intelligent, spiritual, sensible human being, and I'm also got this wild, crazy, impulsive side in me. And if I can figure out a way to hold the tension between the opposites in me and to never give up on my inner child and say, you put me in trouble every week, but here I am showing up for you. That is the yoga at the deepest level. And doing that, I can extend it now to my best friend who's going through something strange, my child who's going through a strange experience, and then to my family, my friend, and then the whole country. You see, the whole world. This individuation process, which the present times are asking us to do, without individuation, without integration, can split us all apart.
That is so key. The way that you articulated that is so important. Taking the example of even, let's say, your mom, and seeing your mom as a person who has these different sides and who may be very different than you and isn't really willing to look either at herself or at you in that way. You had to accept and love her the way she is and love yourself the way you are. And oh my, that is really key. It's more important than ever.
I want to just jump to something that you said in the book about interbeing, which is that Buddhist teaching, which I loved so much, and how it helped you look at social media differently. Can you just share a little bit about that? I just think it's just so in line with what you were just talking about.
Yeah, many things are happening at this time, as at any time. In one part of you, you're learning and reading and growing, and then you're living your real life. And I think what I bring to the table and what was brought into my life was integration of the teaching with the actual human experience you're having. At the spiritual level, I can say, and I believe, and just the other day it happened. I was walking and I met a group of my students, friends, and they were like, oh, we just totally co-created you. We were just thinking about you. And so these kind of synchronistic things happen. And we say, oh my God, you know what? Separation is a big myth. We are all one. And we gave each other a group hug and we said, we are just one in different bodies. Now, can that extend to people I don't agree with? People who trigger me. If it is true here, it's got to be true everywhere. Otherwise, it's not the truth. What is the test of something being true? That it holds good in all scenarios.
That is
the test.
That's what. So you can't just have selectively saying that we are all one and feeling great about it when things go want it, and then suddenly saying, I don't know why this person is behaving like this. I'm not at all connected to that person. The interbeing teachings say, no, you cannot do that. You can't embrace a lie just because the truth is inconvenient.
That's right. And there's so much out there that's calling into question what our beliefs are. And social media, as we all know, can be very triggering in that sense when you're seeing people react to something that you don't agree with or do something that might make you envy. There's so many opportunities when you're seeing what's out there to feel disconnected. And so I just love this idea of always looking for that universal truth.
Yeah. And I would say when it triggers you, it's because it is you. It's part of you. Why is it triggering you? What is it? And so it should be a signal for you.
Yes, it's a signal for you. So what I realized, I'll give you a real life example. So at that time, I had started the studio and I'm struggling because many people are like, is that a yoga studio? And I'm like, no, it's not a yoga studio. What do you teach? Meditation? Give me a name to what you're teaching. And I'm like, I do teach meditation, but it's more than that. It's hard to tell you what I'm teaching. Just come. I'm trying to raise consciousness. And people are like, I go to my yoga class. I'm good here. So I was really struggling to fill my classes. 5, 6 people would come. And as I'm struggling, I think, let me go to Facebook. And somebody I knew has just posted that day, oh, our classes were so full today, we had to send people away. So sorry to those of you who we turned away. Please come back tomorrow. And now the knife is there inside. It's got nicely twisted and moved inside of me. And I am thinking, what a loser you are. You start something, you can't even fill up the classes here. And look at this person. So I hate this woman. I wish she wouldn't brag so much. This is the ego talking.
Yeah.
The ego is always going into polarities. You're a loser. Look at her. She's a winner. She's got the secret sauce, and you, meanwhile, are a loser. That's the ego. But when it happened 3 or 4 or 5 times, that's when it catches my attention. Why is this happening to me on such a regular basis? The universe is getting my attention. I need to pause, think deeper here. What's going on? And what I got in touch with was she and I share something in common. Both of us valued ourselves based on the number of people who showed up for our classes.
There you go.
Wow.
I was on the lower end of the seesaw. She was on the higher end of the seesaw. We were on the same seesaw.
That's eye-opening. Yeah.
Which is why every time I logged in, I would see her post.
Yes. That was what you were like energetically.
Because we are on the same wavelength.
That's right. Because it's energy.
Energy!
You
are on the same wavelength, except the other person is on the opposite side.
Wow. That is such a transformative way to look at it.